All right, you know what time it is. Once again, as usual, time's not about that time, not to self time. Ready, motherfucker. If you don't know, now you know, bitch. Straight into it. Let's do this motherfucking shit. Let go. Now, this video is going to be about our favorite incel, Marshall Mathers IV, aka the Black Pill Joker. Apparently, a couple months ago, he said that his last video, this was going to be his last video, but 4 months later, lo and behold, he is back again with another video. Now, the video that I've seen of him, apparently he, you would think that he would come back with a changed mindset of, trying to at least better himself or improve his life in any way, shape, or form, whether or not it be in the little things like getting a job or just, doing things to improve his life so he can stop complaining about all the things that his life that he feels like he can't control. But lo and behold, he's still being a loser, still talking about the same shit that he did over and over, the same regurgitated bullshit, as Pepper would say, just still talking about the same things over and over again. And it's just, oh my God. He's like, nothing about him has changed at all. And, and he's still a bum. And what better way for me to spend my time than to give this so-called bum my 2 cents is our favorite lovable incel. Anyways, I want this video to sort of be like an overview. I'm not gonna watch, I've already seen his video and I don't wanna review it like how I did the last video of that girl. His video is like 32 minutes long and I don't want the video to be too drawn out. It might be triple the length that the last video was, because the last video I made about that girl, that video was it was like a 12-minute video, and that shit was like an hour long for me to review everything I wanted to say and all that shit. I don't know how long it might take for me to fuck around and review his video. It might be triple the time because his videos are long-winded and drawn out. But anyways, that's besides the point. I want to focus on some of the key moments of the video. Like, he was saying some shit like, what he said. I'll take my gum out of my mouth. Anyways, he was saying there's some key components in the video that he was saying that really, I don't know. Like, what did he say? He was saying, as an incel, he's supposed to be depressed, he's supposed to be sad, he's supposed to be miserable, he's supposed to have a philosophy of feeling that because he's an incel, it's over and it never began in the first place. Like, why the fuck that because you're an incel, you have to feel that way? Who the fuck is telling you that you have to feel that way because you're an incel? First of all, you take the definition of what being an incel is and you magnify it times 10 and you make being an incel more than what it's supposed to be. First of all, there's nothing virtuous about being a loser. There's nothing virtuous about being an incel. You're not some sort of crusader by being a failure. Like, why do you think being an incel or being a loser is virtuous? It's not a virtuous thing. And then you keep on saying us incels. First of all, you're probably the only incel that you know. The only person that you know that openly admits to being an incel. How many other incels have you met in person? Most of those people who are other incels like yourself are probably just pretending to be incels to make fun of you. You don't know. Like, how are you going to say us incels? I'm pretty sure that there's other incels like you, but how many of those have you actually went out of your way to reach out to be like, yes, these people are incels like me? Or do you just believe everything that you hear on the internet of people just saying, well, I'm an incel, and so you just believe them because they tell you? It is possible that most of those people who claim to be incels are just lying to you to troll you. Has it not ever occurred to you in that regard? My thing is, it's like you make these self-imposed rules on things that you can't be just to make yourself miserable on purpose so you can get people to feel sorry for you. It's like you get this kick out of people feeling sorry for you. You want to be miserable on purpose to get people to feel bad and sorry for you. You set up these self-imposed rules that nobody's said. Like, who the fuck said that being an incel means that you have to be a loser, you have to be a failure, you have to be a freeloader and a neat and somebody who is never going to amount to anything in their lives? First of all, just because you're an incel doesn't mean you have to be a loser at everything in your life. What the fuck? That's some dumbass shit. Who the fuck is telling you this? Who the fuck made that rule to tell you that because the black pill way of life means you have to be a loser? All being an incel means is you're just not good at talking to girls. You are involuntarily celibate because you just haven't found any luck talking to girls. You're not good at talking to women, and you're at a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to speaking to women, communicating with women, talking to women. You're nervous and shit like that, which, I would say the overwhelming majority of guys start out being afraid and nervous of talking to girls. I was afraid and nervous of talking to girls. I never had a girlfriend in like high school and shit like that. I was nervous. I was scared to talk to girls. I was, you know, just like you. I mean, talking to girls, you know, sort of scared the crap out of me, really. Now, see, in my high school, you know, especially like, you know, the black girls, you know, they were mean as hell. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I went through worse shit being rejected by women than you have. You didn't even attempt to try to talk to bitches. You know, I at least tried to talk to them. You know, I at least gotten like rejected and shit like that and faced that type of whatever humiliation and shit. But like, regardless of the type of hardships that I went through of getting rejected in like high school and shit and whatever, like that never, like, I never let that shit put me down to where I dropped out of school because I wasn't getting any girls. See, the thing is, right, you dropped out of high school at the age of 15 in 2012 because you saw everybody around you have a girlfriend except you. But the thing is, you tried to run away from that reality. But to be honest, past high school, even when you're not in school anymore, guess what? When you go to a grocery store, guess what you're gonna see? Guys and girls holding hands. You know, when you're at a museum or at your favorite place, you're gonna see guys and girls holding hands. There's a bunch of people holding hands, you know, showing public displays of affection towards one another as men and women. You think that you were gonna escape that shit by just leaving high school? Like, bro, that shit is everywhere. Like, and you dropped out of school because of that shit? That is the dumbest shit on earth. You forgoed your future just because of, like, the problem is you made your identity being somebody who can't get pussy. Like, you're like how are you gonna claim to be a conservative when everything about you is like liberal? You are a liberal. You're like no better than those non-binary people that identify with using their pronouns of he, they, and she, they, and they, them. You make your entire identity, just like how people who make their entire identity about their pronouns, you make your entire identity about being an incel, of not getting pussy. Just because you can't get a girl to like you, that doesn't mean that your life has to suck at everything else. Like, you don't have to be just because you're an incel or whatever, that doesn't mean you have to be a loser. Just because you're not good at getting girls, that doesn't mean you have to be a loser. There's other talents that you can have that you can take pride in to be like, well, you know, I'm good at playing the piano. I'm good at video games. I'm good at other things that define who it is that I am as a person. There's things past me being a fucking, there's things past me being an incel. Like what's that? I remember this one community post that you made about Vincent Van Gogh saying that he was an incel or whatever the fuck, right? But my thing is, there's like Vincent Van Gogh that you try to praise to say that he was an incel, which we don't even know if he was an incel. I mean, didn't he have like a relationship with a girl? I don't fucking know. But the thing is, past him being an incel, he was a good artist that can be remembered throughout history because he has talents that transcend him not being able to get women. If you look at being somebody who's not good at getting girls and you translate that to your entire identity, then of course you feel like you're going to be a failure at everything else. When, to be honest, you make these self-imposed rules on being a failure so you won't succeed. Like, you have to suck at everything else that you do in life because you can't get women? Who the fuck told you had to be that way? Oh, I have to be negative. I don't want to make videos smiling because that's not the black pill way of life. That's not the incel way. Fuck the incel way. You hate being an incel. And if you loved it so much, you wouldn't be complaining about it every single day. You wouldn't be bitching about it every single day. Like, you hate being an incel. And to be honest, like I said, all being an incel should have ever been was the fact that you lack experience when it comes to talking to girls. You don't know how to talk to girls. You have little, if any, experience in talking to girls. You're nervous when speaking to women. You've never had sex before. And you're just somebody who, and when it comes to girls, you're a loser when it comes to talking to women. Fine. But do you have to be a loser at everything else too? Because at this point now, you're not even an incel. You're just a loser. Like, you're just a failure at everything else. Like, stop. Like you're trying to spearhead an incel movement to try to make it seem like because you're an incel, you have to be a failure at everything else. You can be an incel and be a good artist. You can be an incel and be somebody who is a great engineer, someone who's good at, building and fixing up cars, someone who is good with money, someone who is like, somebody who is on their purpose and still, is fucking does things to benefit themselves in a way to where they can find happiness outside of just getting girls. That's the thing. If you know you suck at getting women and it's over for you in that regard, you can still find other ways to make yourself happy that transcends just you not being able to get women. And if you accepted the fact that you can't get women, dude, why don't you ever move on and not talk about this shit anymore? If you honestly believe it's over and you've accepted it, then you need to stop talking about it then. If it's over, if you've accepted it, if you're fine with the way you are, then why do you complain about it all the time? That's what doesn't make sense to me. You don't have to be a loser just because you're an incel. I mean, 1 in 3 men, according to the statistics of people over the age of 18 and 30, 1 in 3 men are virgins, okay? And I would say only 10 to 15% of men are the so-called chads or whatever the fuck that are getting all the bitches. And then, the guys who are the remaining dudes who are in between, those guys themselves even struggle to maintain a monogamous relationship with women, So, you're not the only person struggling to get girls or whatever. My thing is, even when I was a virgin or whatever, right? I found other ways, because my thing is, even when I was a virgin, I still found, other uses for my time to make myself a better person, so where I won't have to keep on thinking about how my life sucks and how I'm not getting girls. You got to be confident in other things outside of that. I mean, for as much as you claim to hate women, you gauge your entire existence off of the fact that you can't get women. And why the fuck would a woman want to get with you knowing that you hate them? You hate women, but you put them on a pedestal by making your entire existence and way of life and philosophy about the fact that you can't get women. It's like whenever he says things like, oh, well, my channel is based off of black pill and incel ideology and belief systems. So when you say that, it's like you're saying that you want to be miserable on purpose. You like being miserable. You want to be miserable. You get a kick out of being miserable so then people can feel sorry for you. You're supposed to be depressed. You're supposed to be sad. You're supposed to hate the world. Why are you supposed to do that? Who the fuck told you that you had to do that? Why do you want to do that? Like, I'm supposed to be a defeatist. Like, what? It's like, and then you want to claim how deep of a person that you are when there's nothing deep about you. You are the most one-dimensional motherfucker on the face of YouTube if you are supposed to be a certain way because of a fucking ideology that keeps you miserable and depressed. I'm supposed to be that way because I'm an incel. Like, there's no depth towards you at all. It's just like you're like a one-dimensional fucking villain that's just evil because he's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be evil. I'm the villain. I'm supposed to be evil. I'm supposed to do bad things because I'm a villain. But why are you a villain? Like, is there no depth to the reason behind why you do things the way you do? Like, do you not have any other character development past the fact that you're just an evil person and you're supposed to do bad things, in the same way that you're an incel and you're just supposed to do incel things because you're an incel? I'm an incel, so I'm supposed to do incel things because that's an incel way of life. But why? Why are you following an incel way of life? A self-imposed rule of being a defeatist. For what? Why? What purpose does that serve you? Like, it's almost as if you fool yourself into believing that being a incel is a virtue. You want to be the Leonidas of incels. This motherfucker, he wants to be the Spartacus of incels. Like, he's like the Martin Luther King or Malcolm X of incels. Like, I have a dream. Or like in anime with Naruto, he wants to be the incel Hokage. So that motherfuckers will like look up to him and respect him. God, there's no way in hell that shit could ever fly in my household. Or like in my family, no way would that shit ever fly. If you were any kin of mine and you were this much of a failure, I would have, oh my God. If we were brothers, I'd kick your ass. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're just this much of a failure. Like, do people have to beat the failure out of you just so you can change? Like, God damn, there's no way in hell, like, if my dad had a son like this, holy shit. In the same way that you piss your family off and irritate them with your black pill way of life that you feel like isn't hurting anybody, it's actually hurting your family. It's hurting your family, it's hurting your brothers, it's hurting your sisters, it's hurting everyone around you because they don't even know what's going on with you. And you make these self-imposed rules to make yourself miserable on purpose. And you become an emotional, mental burden on everyone in your fucking family. My God. My dad probably, like, if it was like my father, God, if I was anything like you, man, my father probably would have kicked my ass, would have beat the brakes off me. The fact that you have parents that just let you be this way and you not get your ass kicked behind no shit like this, that's what lets you know, like, you just have life so easy. You have everything presented to you on a silver platter. Like, you've never suffered a day in your life. Everything that you complain about is on some white privilege shit. This is first world white privilege problems. Like, everything, you've never suffered a day in your life. The most you've probably ever suffered was your mom telling you to take the trash out, and that just hurt you so much. Oh, I just emotionally and mentally, that just made me feel so bad. Like, what the fuck? Like, the shit that you complain about in your videos is like normal shit that people go through, like a piece of cake. Normal shit that most people just go through in life, dude. Like, normal everyday shit that people go through, you're complaining about it like it's just the worst thing in the world. You magnify whatever normal problems that normal people could have and get over, you magnify it times 10 and make it the worst shit in the world, and then try to be like, oh, because of this I've suffered. You want to look the part of someone who has suffered just so motherfuckers can feel sorry for you. It is the craziest shit in the world. It's like you've never been through anything hard in your life at all. It's like you just want to be a reject because you think it's cool, because you just want to be different. It's like you want to be different from other people, so you're doing things you don't like just so you can be different, just so you can have the title of saying that you are different. But you're not actually different because you want to be. You're just different because you just think it's cool. It's cool to be an outcast. But that's not who you actually are. You're just doing it to be cool. Like, you take first world problems and magnify it times 10, and then use that as an excuse to say that you have suffered, when it's an insult to people who've actually suffered for real. Just the epitome of the lowest form of white trash possible. It's the most disgusting shit ever. Like, you've never gotten over high school. And then the thing is, I don't even think anything bad happened to you in high school, besides the fact that guys who had more courage to talk to girls that you liked ended up being with those girls. Man, shit like that happened to me in high school 3 times a day. You don't see me dropping out of school. Reason being is because past being able to get girls, what was your identity past that? The reason why you dropped out of high school is because you felt like you couldn't get girls. And then you quit. And then the thing is, past high school, guess what? Whenever you get a job, you're gonna see guys and girls holding hands. You go to the grocery store, guys and girls holding hands. You go to the museum, guys and girls holding hands. The fuck? Anywhere you go outside, guys and girls are gonna be holding hands. You thought that you was gonna escape that shit by just dropping out of fucking school? Now you see that shit everywhere. And now you don't have a future. You forgoed your future to try to escape something that is an imminent reality. Nothing is going to change about it. And even after you left high school, trying to leave that crippling reality, it ended up, coming right back around to hit you in the face years later. You're 26 years old and you still see the same things that you used to see back in high school that still used to hurt and affect you. Guys and girls holding hands and kissing each other, doing all this shit. Like, the fuck? Okay? I'll add some more shit in the video if I need to, but the bottom line of what I'm trying to say in this video is this. Reaching out to all the incels and, dudes who feel like it's over for them, black pillars and shit like that. Just because you're an incel does not mean that you have to be a loser in life. There are other purposes in life that you can find that can transcend you not making the fact that you can't get no pussy be your entire fucking identity. You don't have to make that be your whole identity. There's other things in your life that you can find purpose in. You don't have to be a loser at everything just because you suck at getting girls. I mean, how about you be confident in other things in your life, and then that confidence can transcend and, you being able to talk to girls later on and shit like that. It's just like, be confident in the little things that you can do, It doesn't matter what it is. Be confident in small things. Then the more things that you do, that you accomplish, be confident in that. And then from there, let it grow eventually. So then that way you can, your confidence can grow like a plant, Be confident in the small things and then keep making your way up to be confident in big things. And then that confidence is going to transcend to you being confident about yourself and the way you carry yourself. Women are going to see that, and it might be that much easier for you to get a girl. Matter of fact, that's how I got over my fear of talking to girls. I started small. Whenever I saw a pretty girl that I liked, I just said hi to them. They said hi back, or I would say hi to them, they'd say hi back, and I wouldn't really just talk to them. I would just say hi to them. Each time they see me, I keep saying hi to them till eventually, whenever they saw me, they said hi to me on their own without me having to say anything back. Now, see, these things are small, but, it's a small victory for me because it's like, well, I went from saying hi to those girls. I went from gathering up the courage just to say hi to a girl, not even to just talk to her like me just trying to riz or to try to introduce myself or whatever, right? I just see a girl I like, walk up to her, say hi, and then walk away, And then I do it. I keep doing it for as many times. And then when they see me, she says hi to me without me having to say hi back to her. See, it's like the little accomplishments that you could take and internalize and be like, okay, if I can do this, I can get a girl to say hi to me on her own, then I can move on from level 1. Then I can go to level 2, and then from there, I could be able to elevate myself. But you got to start small. I mean, you may think that you're down right now, but to be honest, for as down as you think you are, the only way to go from here is up. And really, I'm not even talking to him. I'm talking through him to those incels who feel the same way that he does, to be like, I mean, if he listens to this video, then that's great. But I want to talk to those incels that feel the same way that he does, And I'm not saying that I don't understand where Marshall is coming from, because there's some things that he says that I do agree with. And I'm like, okay, I felt the same way that he used to feel back then, I understand him and what he's going through in terms of like the depression and shit. But at the same time, there's always a way out of what it is that you're going through, no matter how down you think you are. Even if you don't want to believe it, there's always a way out. Take the red pill, or really just take a chance on yourself. Well, I guess that's pretty much all I have to say for now, but until then, I'm out. You already know what it is, man. It's the underdog motherfucking soldier. I have spoken, and I approve this message. Oh, and P.S. You changed your name from Marshall Mathers IV to the Black Pill Joker. How are you going to call yourself a Black Pill Joker? How are you going to call yourself a Joker when nothing about you is funny and you take everything serious? And you're the Black Pill Joker, but you get offended when people make fun of you. You take yourself seriously, but you call yourself the Joker? What? That makes zero fucking sense at all. If anything, you should call yourself the lazy conservative. Because, well, actually, that's the thing. That's crazy. Like, that's an oxymoron, because the thing is, you call yourself conservative, but you're lazy as fuck, which goes against everything. Like, you call yourself a conservative, but you're lazy as fuck, which goes against the conservative way of life. So you're a lazy conservative. You contradict yourself. You contradict your entire way of life. How are you a conservative and you're lazy when conservatives don't believe in being lazy? But you believe in being lazy because you're an incel, but you're not. You're a conservative. Like, you're a lazy black pill conservative. Yeah, that should be your new name, the lazy black pill conservative. Oh my God, the black pill conservative. That sounds like a nice ring to it. Instead of the black pill joker, the black pill conservative. Yeah. Well, I guess that's pretty much it. I'm just pondering right now. But anyways, I'm out. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.